Funny thing about life, people think they've got time. Oh, they walk around with clocks tied to their wrists, calendars stuck to their walls, counting days like they're in control of it all, planning, dreaming, postponing, waiting for the perfect moment, like life owes them an announcement before it flips their world upside down. What a joke. Time doesn't care about your plans. Destiny doesn't knock politely. When it's time, oh, it just crashes through the door like a storm in the night. No warning, no mercy. Delays are funny things, you know. People hate them, they curse them, they blame everything around them when things slow down. When life doesn't go their way, when the clock keeps ticking but nothing moves. Oh, how they panic, how they scream inside their empty little heads. They think the world is broken, they think someone's playing games with them, and maybe someone is. Or maybe, just maybe, it's not a punishment, it's a setup, it's a little trick played by the universe to see who waits, to see who watches, to see who listens. You see, humans measure everything by their watches. Their calendars, their deadlines, their silly little goals scribbled on paper. But there's someone far beyond that, someone who laughs at those calendars, who shatters those watches, who flips the hourglass upside down whenever he wants. And then people call it delay. I call it design. A grand, dangerous, beautiful design. They beg for speed, they run faster, they push harder, they get tired, their voices break, and in the shadows there is silence. Nothing moves, nothing responds, until it's time. And time doesn't belong to them. Never did. Time bows to the one who created it. So while people scream at the sky, asking why it's taking so long, why they are stuck in one place, why their dreams gather dust in the corner, they forget something. The story isn't about their timing, it's about his. Oh, but wait, humans are impatient creatures. Their hearts beat faster when they don't get what they want. Their minds break down under pressure, their souls get bitter, their faith cracks, all because of delay, what they call delay, but what I see is divine setup. You see the delay as the furnace, it's the secret factory where real strength is forged. While they cry in their rooms, while they sit alone wondering if anyone cares, he watches, he waits, he sharpens them, quietly, silently, in ways they don't even understand. You ever wonder why storms come before the sun rises? Why the night is the darkest before the morning? Because some things are born out of chaos. Some blessings explode into life from the ashes of waiting. People are so busy complaining about how long it's taking, they don't realize the longer the wait, the greater the arrival, the grander the entrance, the louder the applause from heaven. But no, they want shortcuts, they want everything now, fast food dreams, instant success, overnight miracles. They forget fast things break easily, rushed things collapse quickly. They forget that giants aren't built in seconds, kings aren't crowned overnight, diamonds aren't made without pressure. Delay is the disguise of destiny, hiding, waiting, sharpening its knife, preparing to strike in the perfect moment. I've seen it, people losing their minds just moments before their breakthrough, giving up a step before the door opens, walking away seconds before their name gets called, because they thought the delay was a denial, but they never understood the rules of this game. The delay was their test. The delay was their preparation. The delay was heaven saying, wait, not yet. Not here, not this way. I've got something bigger, something louder, something their small little minds can't even imagine. Oh, but it hurts, doesn't it? To wait in silence, to sit in the darkness, to feel forgotten, abandoned, useless, to watch others run ahead while you stand still. But that's where warriors are born, not in noise, not in crowds, but in silence, in delay, in hidden places where no one claps for you, no one notices you, and yet you keep going because deep down something whispers, not yet, but soon. So laugh at delay, embrace it, let it sharpen you. Let it build a madness inside you that doesn't break. Let it teach you patience so dangerous that nothing in this world can shake you again. Because when he decides it's time, when heaven stands up and says now, everything changes in seconds. Years of delay erased in one moment, forgotten like it never happened. Because when it's divine acceleration, you won't even remember the pain of waiting. People think they're in control? That's the funniest joke of all. Walking around with their little plans, their cute little goals, their fragile dreams wrapped in paper-thin hope, thinking they can map their future with a pen, as if life reads their script, as if destiny takes instructions from them. They sit in rooms writing vision boards, drawing timelines, drawing pretty pictures of how their life should look, but they forget there's a hand much bigger than theirs, a mind far darker, far deeper, far more twisted in its brilliance, a hand that loves to flip their plans upside down, a mind that smiles while tearing their little drawings into pieces. They scream when things don't go their way. They panic when the road disappears. They cry when the doors don't open. They curse when the people leave. They feel betrayed when life punches them in the face, but maybe, just maybe, the broken plan was the real plan. Maybe the pain was the permission. Maybe their loss was the key. People want straight roads, but he builds his warriors in the dark corners and the dead ends. Humans, oh, how fragile they are, how quickly their faith shakes, how easily their confidence shatters. One delay, one failure, one heartbreak, and they start questioning everything. They start asking why me, why now, why this? But they never ask, what if this is the best thing that ever happened to me? What if this disaster is my doorway? What if this chaos is a crown in disguise? They never ask that because it's easier to cry, easier to blame, easier to break. But you see, the ones he loves the most, the ones chosen for things this world can't handle, he doesn't let them walk easy roads. He doesn't let them settle for small lives. He doesn't allow them to stay comfortable, no. He drags them through storms. He strips them down, breaks their ego, kills their pride, throws them into rooms where no one claps, no one helps, no one stays, because that's how he trains kings. That's how he forges queens. Not in sunlight, but in shadow. He waits till they bleed hope, till they lose their crutches, till they stand on broken legs and still move forward. That's when he knows this one is ready. This one can't be bought. This one can't be controlled. This one can't be destroyed, because pain has already built their bones. Darkness has already sharpened their mind. Loneliness has already trained their heart to beat without applause. Oh, but people don't want that version of life. They want soft blessings, safe dreams, easy prayers answered in seconds. They want a God who serves their comfort, not a God who destroys their weakness. They want heaven without the hell of growth. But he isn't in the business of weak victories. He is a God of impossible stories, of violent resurrections, of unexpected comebacks. He builds from ashes. He rises from graves. He turns rejected people into rulers. To laugh when the plan breaks, laugh when people leave, laugh when the world counts you out, because that's his signal. That's his strange way of saying, now I can start. Now I can create something the world has never seen, because no one claps for a clean life. No one remembers a perfect story. They remember the scars, the blood, the madness, the comeback they never saw coming. This world respects power, but heaven respects pain endured in silence. This world crowns the loud, but heaven crowns the ones who didn't break when no one saw their tears. This world celebrates success, but heaven watches the process, the breaking, the crushing, the lonely nights of fighting battles no one knew about. And when the time is right, when the heavens have been silent long enough, when the stage is empty enough, when the crowd has forgotten your name long enough, then he steps in. Not gently, not quietly, but like a storm that rips through the night and leaves no doubt who was behind it. So rip your plans, burn your timelines, throw away your calendars, because the author of your story doesn't need your map. He needs your surrender. He needs your patience. He needs your madness to believe when nothing makes sense, because when he moves, when he decides, it begins sooner than you ever thought possible. People are so obsessed with timing. Oh yes, obsessed with the clock, obsessed with schedules, obsessed with when. When will it happen? When will it come? When will things change? As if life runs on their little wristwatch. As if the universe takes appointments. They wait, counting days, counting months, counting years, like impatient little children staring at a locked door, thinking if they knock hard enough, long enough, the door will obey them. But life laughs at that. Life isn't a slave to their calendar. Life doesn't move because they want it to. Life moves when it's ready. When everything in the shadows has been arranged, when every unseen piece has been placed. And that's the part they never see. The part that makes them lose their minds. Because the longer it takes, the louder their fears scream. Maybe it won't happen. Maybe I'm forgotten. Maybe I'm cursed. Maybe I'm stupid for believing. But oh, that's the trick. That's the game. The silence isn't punishment, it's preparation. The delay isn't rejection, it's construction. But people don't like construction. They don't like the sound of building when they can't see the building. They want results, not process. They want glory, not grit. They want the crown, not the crushing. But the crushing is where the gold is hidden. The waiting is where strength is built. Because anyone can smile when things go their way, but who survives when nothing makes sense? The strong ones, the chosen ones. They don't survive because they're special. They survive because they learn how to bleed quietly. They learn how to be invisible and unshaken. They learn how to sit in the dark and sharpen their mind while the world forgets them. They learn how to lose everything and still keep breathing, still keep believing, because belief is a weapon. Not everyone can carry it. Belief in silence, belief without proof, belief when no one claps, belief when no one stays. That's the dangerous kind of belief. That's the belief that scares the enemy. That's the belief that builds monsters out of ordinary people. People think the weight is punishment, but it's the filter, it's the test. Because weak hands drop dreams when they take too long. But real warriors hold on until their knuckles bleed, until their heart is numb, until their mind is steel, because they understand something most people never will. The timing isn't in their hands, but the endurance is. The process isn't their choice, but the persistence is. The outcome isn't guaranteed, but their fight is. Life doesn't give crowns to the impatient. Life doesn't reward the ones who quit when the noise fades. Life waits until you forget about the crowd, until you forget about the applause, until you forget about being seen, until all that's left is you and the fire that refuses to die, the fire that stays burning in the middle of cold nights, the fire that whispers, keep going, keep moving, keep believing, even when it hurts, even when it doesn't make sense, even when you hate every second of it. The funny thing is, when the time finally comes, it comes like a thief. It doesn't knock politely, it doesn't announce itself. It crashes through the door, it breaks every rule, it ignores every expectation. Because that's how divine timing works. Not on your schedule, not on your comfort, not on your terms, but on its own, wild, unpredictable, unstoppable. So laugh at your calendar, laugh at your deadlines, laugh at your little plans, because the life you're waiting for isn't hiding behind dates. It's hiding behind your endurance. It's waiting on the other side of your breaking point. It's waiting for you to stop controlling, stop calculating, stop forcing, and start trusting, start bleeding with purpose. Start waiting like a weapon, because life rewards the ones who can sit in the fire and smile, the ones who can stare at empty hands and still believe they're full, the ones who can walk through silence and still know they're being heard. Timing isn't late, timing isn't lost, timing is brutal, timing is divine. Timing is for the ones who don't break before their breakthrough. People love to act like they're strong until the storm shows up. Well, they walk around with their little fake smiles, with their motivational quotes taped to their mirror. They say things like, "I'm built for this. Nothing can break me." But storms don't care about words. Storms don't care about your image. Storms come to expose what's real and what's just decoration. Everybody wants peace, but nobody wants the war that builds it. Everybody wants strength, but nobody wants the pain that grows it. They want results without sacrifice, comfort without conflict. But life doesn't work that way, not for the ones who are chosen for something bigger. Because when you're marked, when you're different, when you're born for something that doesn't fit in this world, life won't treat you gently, Life will rip you apart in front of everyone just to prove a point. People will leave, they'll call you crazy, they'll laugh behind your back, they'll say you changed, but what they don't see is what life is doing in the shadows. Life isn't punishing you. Life is stripping you, cutting away dead weight, burning off weakness, sharpening you into something they won't even recognize when you return, because storms don't come to break the chosen, they come to reveal them. But oh, people hate that part. They hate the isolation, they hate the quiet nights, they hate the empty rooms, they hate the silence that screams louder than any crowd ever did. Because that's when the real fight starts. Not with others, but with yourself. With your own doubts, your own fears, your own demons whispering that maybe you're wasting your time, maybe you're not enough, maybe this pain is pointless. But that's where the chosen are separated from the average, because the chosen learn how to sit in that darkness. They learn how to bleed with dignity. They learn how to lose everything and still keep breathing. They don't run from the fire, they walk into it. They don't pray for the storm to end, they become the storm. They understand that life isn't about avoiding pain, it's about mastering it. Every scar becomes a lesson, every betrayal becomes fuel. Every tear becomes a seed planted in the soil of their destiny. They lose friends, but gain wisdom. They lose comfort, but gain clarity. They lose everything they thought they needed, and find everything they never knew they had buried deep inside them. The ones who are chosen don't look like everyone else. They don't fit in. They're misunderstood, outcasted, talked about, feared, because they're not living for applause. They're not living for acceptance. They're not living for approval. They're living for war, for purpose, for legacy. Life doesn't choose the loudest. Life doesn't pick the prettiest. Life picks the one who can stand in the middle of hell and not flinch. Life chooses the one who can walk alone without losing their mind. Life crowns the one who has lost it all and still gets up with fire in their eyes. People think blessings come wrapped in gold, in perfect moments, in easy victories. But real blessings come wrapped in blood, in bruises, in battles nobody sees. The crown is hidden in the chaos. The throne is built in the trenches. Greatness isn't handed out. It's earned in silence when nobody is watching. You want to be chosen? Learn how to suffer well. Learn how to carry weight that wasn't meant for ordinary shoulders. Learn how to survive storms that should have drowned you. Learn how to keep walking when every voice says turn back, because destiny doesn't come to the weak. Purpose doesn't come to the comfortable. It comes to the broken who refuse to die. It comes to the forgotten who refuse to quit. Life doesn't owe you an explanation, it owes you a transformation. And transformations are violent, messy, lonely. They don't feel good, they don't look pretty, but when it's over, when the dust clears, when the scars tell your story, people won't understand how you survived. They won't recognize who you've become, because you weren't built in the light, you were forged in the fire. They told you life was supposed to be fair, didn't they? They sold you dreams in shiny packages. They told you hard work guarantees success, love guarantees loyalty, kindness guarantees kindness in return. They lied. Oh, they lied so beautifully, so convincingly, because the world loves to sell illusions. They love to wrap suffering in silence and call it strength. They love to watch you break slowly while whispering, "Stay positive." But life doesn't work on your timetable. Life doesn't play by your rules. Life doesn't ask for permission before it wrecks your plans. It doesn't send a warning before it rips the floor from under you. One day you wake up and realize nothing is what it seemed. People wear masks better than faces. Smiles hide knives. Friends turn into ghosts. And love turns cold so fast, it leaves frostbite where there used to be warmth. You see, nobody teaches you how to survive when everything you believed in starts to fall apart. Nobody prepares you for the silence after betrayal, for the empty seat at the table, for the unread messages, for the dreams that collapse without a sound. They don't write books about the nights you cry so hard your body feels empty. They don't write songs about the days you walk like a stranger in your own life. They just tell you move on, be strong. But strength isn't pretty. Strength isn't smiling while bleeding inside. Strength isn't pretending you're fine when you're drowning. No, real strength is ugly. It's violent. It's crying on the floor and still waking up the next day. It's being torn apart by life and stitching yourself back together with shaking hands. It's loving again, even when your heart feels like shattered glass. People look at the survivors and think they're lucky. They think they're special, but they don't see what it costs them. They don't see the nights of screaming into the void, the mornings of staring into the mirror, wondering who is left. They don't see the wars fought in silence, the 1,000 deaths of a soul before it finds a reason to live again. This world isn't gentle with dreamers. This world isn't kind to believers. It chews them up, spits them out, tests them until nothing is left but raw spirit and scar tissue. The ones who rise aren't the strongest, they're not the smartest. They're the ones who refuse to die when life gave them every reason to give up. They learn that pain doesn't leave. It becomes a part of you, like an old scar, a quiet ache, a reminder of battles survived. They learn that people don't always stay, but their absence teaches you more than their presence ever could. They learned that love isn't about finding the perfect person. It's about seeing the darkness in someone and choosing them anyway. Oh, but the greatest lesson, the one life carves into your bones, is that everything you lost, everything you mourned, everything that broke you was necessary. Not because it was fair, not because you deserved it, but because it woke you up, it stripped you down, it built a version of you that no comfort ever could. This world doesn't respect softness. It respects survival. It respects the one who kept walking with broken legs. It respects the one who smiled with a shattered heart. It respects the one who looked at life's cruelty and whispered, "Is that all you've got?" They want to call you crazy for loving after betrayal, for trusting after being lied to, for dreaming after failure. Let them laugh. Let them mock. because they don't understand the fire it takes to hope in a world built to break you. They don't understand the rebellion of joy in the face of despair. You were never meant to blend in, never meant to follow the script. You were built for war, for nights without stars, for roads without maps. You were made to create light in the darkest places, to love louder than the hate that surrounds you. They won't see it coming, they won't understand how you're still standing, how you're still breathing, how you're still loving, 'cause they forgot one thing. The most dangerous person in this world isn't the one who's never been broken. It's the one who survived and decided to keep going anyway.